Hi, this is Jeff Graham here with Annette Griffus. We're talking basketball at the Kitsap Sun. Winter season has started, so we're getting going here. We're in the second week already, so let's get started. As far as the Olympic League title, this is our most competitive league. This is where all our teams play. On the girls' side, who's the favorite?
Parity is where we're at. There is no clear-cut favorite. Every team has quality players. Every team has things they have to work on. But Port Angeles and Olympic welcome back co-MVPs in Nizoni Wheeler from PA and Danielle Monzon for Olympic. North Kitsap is deep. They've got a excellent coach, as do all of our schools do now, and you have to throw in Bremerton in there as well. They welcome back a player that was been injured the last couple years. Kingston, they're deep as well, so it's wide open. Actually,
we're gonna find out in January what this thing looks like.
February.
Yeah. On the boys' side, I would say sort of the same thing. Olympic and North Kitsap finished tied last year, for the number one spot, and I think those would probably be my picks at this point. I think Kingston maybe has a chance. They're kind of waiting for that breakthrough season, and Port Angeles is a team that some of the coaches have mentioned as maybe being a dark horse for a top four spot. So we'll kind of have to see how it kind of shakes out.
Bremerton boys in the mix.
Bremerton boys, they had a couple of tough losses here to start off, but yeah, certainly an athletic team, and they have a former pro player as their coach, Maya Davis. So we'll see how the Knights bounce back from this early season 0-2 start. As far as players to watch on the girls' side, who are you most interested in watching?
I am definitely interested in seeing how Olympic senior Katie Campana returns to the court. She suffered a pretty horrific injury just this past February at the district tournament. Completely blew apart her knee. Suffered an elbow injury as well. So she is fully rehabbed. She's back 100%. So good news for her.
Yeah, coming back from a big time injury.
Olympic also has co-MVP Danielle Monzon. And then North Kitsap, you've got Rayleigh Moore. Kingston, you've got Shilene George, their little guard. Pick a team, and
every night's going to be somebody worth watching.
Yeah.
On the boys' side, I would say Central Kitsap's RJ Seacrest, a senior. I kind of asked around this week and said, who's the top boy in the area? And coaches really pointed to Seacrest. Here's a kid who averaged 16 points as a junior. Playing on a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 4 years, so kind of gets overlooked a little bit. But I think he's grown quite a bit. He's a young senior. But here's a kid I think he could average 23, 22 points a game this year. I think he's gonna need to if Central Kitsap wants to make the playoffs. He's gonna have to have a big year. I think he's up for it. They had a big win season opener against Bremerton. He had 22 points, so right kind of on his average what I would pick for him this season. So he's the kid I probably most looking forward to see.
Speaking of Central Kitsap, they are also in a new league along with South Kitsap.
That's right. We saw it in football. South Kitsap's in the South Puget Sound League for 4A, and Central Kitsap's in the South Sound Conference for 3A. I think it's going to really help Central Kitsap. If you look at the Narrows League, they always had to go up against Wilson, Foss, Lincoln.
Yes.
It's pretty much 6 losses in a lot of seasons for the Cougars. And it's hard to make it out of at a league when you're behind when you're 6 games down almost to start the season.
Right.
So I think this is going to be a good league for them. They haven't made the playoffs in 4 years. I would hope that they would be able to snap that this year.
Yeah.
And then South Kitsap going up against some bigger schools, in the 4A league, but
right.
I don't think anything that they haven't seen before. I mean, they've played against Bellarmine, they've played against Olympia. Curtis is a pretty good team that one to watch out for. But for South Kitsap, they've made it for 4 straight years into the postseason. With their roster being a little, touch and go this year, I don't know how they're going to fare, but we'll have to see. And on the girls' side, I think same thing for
Same thing for the girls, really. The South Sound Conference is sort of wide open. They don't have Wilson and Lincoln in there anymore, so CK was the next best team.
Yep.
So I would think that they are going to contend. They've got a couple great guards, Vanessa Davies being one, and then South Kitsap. That might be a little tougher just because the SPSL is a very physical, very tough league, a lot bigger. You still have Bellarmine, you have Curtis. You may have gotten rid of the 2 Auburn schools, but what they've added is just as tough.
Right. As far as new coaches this winter, you have 3 new coaches on the girls' side?
3 new coaches on the girls' side. Chris Eaton takes over at Kingston. He's been an assistant coach up there in that area. And also Cross Point Academy has a new coaching staff. It's their 3rd staff in 3 years, so hopefully some stability there with Keith Orr and Becca Cooper. And then also familiar face on the Bainbridge Island, former player Henry Gooderson.
And on the boys' side, at Kalahaya, we have Brian Temke. He, might be a familiar name too. His father, Howard Temke, coached Olympic to a state title in 1983. So, looking to provide some stability there for the Eagles.
Thank you for tuning in. Just wanted to let you know that our previews will be out on Friday, starting with the girls' preview, and then Saturday we have the boys' preview, and they'll be available at kitsapsun.com. And we'll be back.
We'll
I'm
see
sure.
you out in the stands.
Yep.